Good morning, Harrogate. Welcome to your Sunday sun salutation. Namaste. We're doing some hips today. We will feel like a general all-over yoga flow, I hope. However, we'll concentrate on just loosening up and getting a little bit of mobility in our hips. We're all seizing up in lockdown, going into another week, nearly in the summer. So what I want us to do to start with is just to centre first of all. It always seems like we start and not a lot is happening, but that's really key. We want to disconnect with this jumble of thoughts in our head, the to-do list, and just come back to the breath, to centre. So let's try that. We're going to put both hands on our tummy, and you'll see that I'm sitting cross-legged. Again, this is a lovely hip opening pose. I've got my trusty cushion underneath me just to raise my hips a little higher than my knees. And if you're comfortable to do so, I just want you to close your eyes. And we're just going to take 3 breaths. A nice big inhale. And then an exhale. And 2 more times. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then just keep going, just normal type of breath. We're not trying to change the breath. But see if we can breathe into the belly. And that's the reason we've got our hands on our tummy today. We're just going to notice as if we can let the belly expand as we breathe, so the fingertips just part a little bit. And it's not the muscles doing this, it's just breathing fully into the bottom of the lungs. The rib cage covers the lungs. And sometimes, in fact, most of the time, we breathe right up in the upper quadrant, up near our collarbones. So we want to take just longer and deeper breaths. So as I've been speaking, hopefully you've been trying that. Let's just give it another couple of breaths. And breathing is so important, just to ask for that mind-body link that yoga gives us. We want to feel calm and relaxed, all those things that we usually feel after, or when you say the word yoga. And we'll try and keep this lovely deep and monitored breathing up throughout. But let's just start moving. Let's raise our hands up to the sky. Take a lovely big breath in, and then as we exhale, look down at your tummy. Inhale, in your head we can say, good morning. And then as we exhale, look down at our tummy. So can you feel that we're getting this movement in our back? We've done this a few times in our practice together. Hopefully you've joined us each Sunday and you're learning a little bit about yoga. Let's just bring our fingertips down to the ground. Let's put our right hand onto our left knee and just twist to face the back of the room. And just see how you're doing today. How does this feel today? How did it feel last week? Can you remember when we twisted the spine? Do you feel more or less flexy? And then let's come all the way back round to the midpoint, and then just go round to the other side. So we sit up straight as we inhale, and then as we exhale, just twist to face the back of the room. And take a breath. What's happening with the breath today? Nice big inhale and exhale. And then come all the way back round to the midpoint. And then we're just going to see if we can take our elbows down to the ground. So this might be a bit of an ask, but when we put our elbows down to the ground, the knees automatically fall down to the ground as well. And just see if the elbows don't go down, maybe we're just reaching with the hands, and just that weight coming over the pelvis, over the legs, is opening the hips a little bit more. And just take a breath here. If you're very flexible in the hips, you may be flat on the floor. Good for you if you are. I'm certainly not like that. Nice big breath. Inhale and exhale. And then we're just going to bring ourselves upright to sitting. And we're going to come onto our backs today and just do a couple of hip openings. So we did this at the end last week. Just going to have the soles of the feet to the floor and then raise the right foot. And pop the right foot onto the left thigh. Just take our right hand and push our thigh away. Just so we're really feeling this opening in the right hip. And just take a little breath here. And inhale and then exhale. And if that's enough for you, just stay there. We just want to see how that feels. And then maybe we're just going to, if it is available, lift your left foot from the floor. And we can even take that left foot high. So we're coming into this figure 4 stretch. So you're getting a hip opener in the right, one plus a hamstring stretch down the left hand side. Just take one more breath. Hopefully we're still monitoring that breathing. And then as we exhale, let's just drop the foot down and let's go the other side. Very inventive. So let's take the left ankle onto the right thigh. Take the left hand and just push that thigh away and see how that feels. You might notice that I've got my foot flexed, and this is quite important because when our foot is flexed, you're protecting the knee. Anything done when we're trying to open the hip, there's often a tendency to twist the knee, and actually just flexing the foot means that the action is much more localized into the hip. And if you haven't already done so, if you want to take this up a gear, we can just lift the right foot from the floor and come into this figure 4 stretch. So our drishti, we haven't discussed this very much. Drishti is gaze point in yoga. Our drishti is on our either our right foot or our left foot. Just see if you can focus the gaze. Another way to focus the mind as we breathe. And then as we exhale, we'll just drop that foot down to the ground. And then we'll unravel from here. Just taking the hands along the mat. And as we sometimes do at the end of practice, just let the knees drop over to the right, take the head to the left. And just see how that feels in the left hip. And then as we exhale, just bring the knees up and then over to the other side. Just to check in. How does that feel down the right side body and right hip? Does it feel different, one side to another? And then exhale and just come all the way back up. Just bring the right foot in or right knee in and just give your leg a hug. And then release and then bring in the left leg as well. So all this is just working with different ways in the hip. And then we're just going to roll over onto our right hand side and push all the way up into sitting position. Keep going. We're going to come up into our all fours position and just do a couple of cat cows. Inhale and exhale. And if you've been doing this every week, you'll be getting jolly good at cat cows now. And it just helps us get a little bit more flexibility in the spine. Inhaling and exhaling. Come to a neutral spine now and just take our right foot outside the right hand. And again, we did this in a past week. We can move the hands forward a little bit into a baby lizard pose. And again, can you feel this in the hip? We should be just feeling this lovely stretch. If we're feeling particularly energetic this morning, feel free to tuck the back toe under and just lift the back knee from the floor. And then we're working in stretch hand strength. You'll notice I'm keeping my hands on the floor at the moment. And then as we exhale, just drop that knee down. We're going to take the stretch up a gear. So we're just going to move the weight back over the left knee and now flex that right foot. As I said before, it's quite important we do this. We're going to take our right hand to our right knee and see if we can open that thigh out and then swing the body back round into our lizard pose. So we've got a much more intense stretch happening. If this is quite tough, hopefully our handy cushion is nearby and we can take our hands to that cushion, just give us a little bit more height. Wherever we are, we may be quite rounded in the back, in the spine. Just try and push the floor away. We call it in yoga shining the heart space forward. So see if we can just drop the pelvis down a little bit and tip the shoulders back. So we've got this nice straight spine. And we should really feel this in the hip. Wherever you are, at whatever level of stretch, just breathe into where you feel this, probably the right hip. And then we're just going to come back. So just come back into our all fours position. And we'll try a down dog. So just take the toes to the floor and then push back. Pushing the heels down to the ground and just stretch it out here. Feel free to walk the dog if that's in your wheelhouse. If you're like me needing to walk the dog shortly, we can do it here, or if you want, we can just enjoy that big stretch as we push the heels down. Enjoy the big stretch all the way through the back line of the body. And then as we exhale, we're just going to drop the knees to the floor, and now step the left foot outside the hands, and move forward if we can. And if not, if we're just here, that's fine. You still should really feel that in the left hip. But if we want to heel toe forward and find a little bit more stretch, just enjoy. And again, we're trying to have this straight spine. It's like something heavy. Imagine a kettlebell on your sacrum at the back here is just pushing down. And if you're feeling very rounded in the spine, don't worry about that. As we exhale, just try and push up. And breathe, breathing into the belly. And as we exhale, just accepting what's happening here, this big stretch. And then we're going to push through the hands, so we're coming back over the right knee this time, and really flex as much as we can that left foot. Take the left hand, and it's almost like you're rolling the thigh open, and then bringing the body back round into our lizard again. Feel free, by the way, at any point to tuck the back toes under and lift that back leg. Or if we want, we can just leave that knee on the ground. It's up to you, however you're feeling it this morning. If we need a little bit more height, we can use a prop, whatever's to hand. But we should be really feeling that stretch now. So just take a couple of more breaths, inhaling and exhaling, taking time to stretch. And then just take the weight to the hands, and we're going to pop that leg back, as I sometimes say. Might not feel like it. Tuck the toes under and come back to this inverted triangle pose, our downward dog. Take a breath, inflate the belly, and as we exhale, just push the heels down. Let's walk the feet forward, and then we'll meet in a half rise. So the thing about the half rise is you're really stretching through the hamstrings. Exhale, forward fold, let the crown of the head go to the floor, and then pushing on up. And we'll take our Sunday sun salutations. I can't get away without doing them. So inhale, nice big breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half rise. Exhale, plant the hands and then step back on the right foot. And left foot goes to meet it. And chaturanga down. So that's where we really keep the elbows in. It's not a press up. And we lower the body to the ground. Inhale, pushing up to strengthen the lower back. And then pushing all the way into down dog. And we can pad the feet, feel free, just to free up the lower back. Or keep those heels still, or do a combination of both. And then we're going to walk the feet towards the hands. And then inhale into our half rise. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, push the floor away. And bring the hands to prayer. Once more on the other side. So we inhale. Exhale. And don't worry if your hands don't touch the floor. It's not a problem. We're just limbering up the whole body. We're going to step our left foot back, and then the right foot goes to meet it. Chaturanga down, so either in one staff, or we lay the body on the floor. I don't mind. And then tuck the toes under, and find our down dog. And again, we can pad the feet, or if we want, we can just keep still. Keep breathing. Whatever you do, just keep breathing. And then we're going to walk the feet forward and meet in our half rise. Looking up, stretching the hamstrings, forward fold. Inhale, push the floor away, and then come all the way back. So we're going to step back on the right foot now and come into a warrior two, which is a hip opener. So we're getting a nice big bend in our left knee. If you feel that you can lunge a little bit more, just heel toe forward and then stack the knee over the ankle. As we exhale, we're just going to put our left arm onto our left leg and then look up at our right hand. So we're hoping for a nice straight line from the fingers all the way down to the toes at the back. This is Parsvakonasana. And then as we exhale, let's just drop that right hand to the floor. And you can see that my foot has rotated. So I'm now up on the toes of my right foot. And let's find a twist. So we're just lifting the left hand up and taking a breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then let's drop that hand down. And we'll just come up, if we can, to a runner's lunge. So now we're really working in a strength pose because our hands are off the ground. So don't worry if we need to bring the body forward a little bit. If we can, just be upright. And if it's available, we can take our hands up as well. Inhale and exhale. We're going to drop our hands down and just heel toe that left foot out to the side, if we can. So all the while, my back knee has stayed lifted, but if you need to, we can drop that back knee down and have it on the floor. So now we're in our full lizard pose, really opening that hip up. Take a nice big breath. I love this phrase, the face is soft, we're smiling. And then we're going to take the weight to our hands and just find our high plank again. So hopefully we'll be able to step that foot back. Don't worry if you need to just put the knees down and chaturanga down. So keeping that upper body strength. Inhale, exhale, and then find our dog position. Rest for a moment in dog, and then walk the feet forward. So we're really moving today, nice and energetic for a Sunday morning. Let's push the floor away and bring the hands back to prayer. And then we'll step back on the left foot this time and find Warrior 2 on the other side. So in Warrior 2, our hips are facing the side of the mat. So we've got this really nice hip opening. Do you remember before we took the hand and we just rotated the thigh? We can even do that here, just to make sure that we're nice and open in the hip. And then we're going to find our Parsvakonasana. So just look at the fingers of the left hand and bring that hand up as much as we can. If we can, just find a little bit more lunge when we breathe out. And then take a really huge breath in. Inhale and exhale. And then from here, let's drop our hands inside our right foot. And you'll see that my left foot, I'm up on the toes now, so I've allowed that to rotate. I'm going to heel toe this right foot out and just sink down into full lizard again. Inhaling and exhaling. Take a nice big breath. And really feel that stretch in the hip. If you need to, just put the knee down. That's okay, that works. Otherwise, just find our way into this full lizard position for the hips. And then either pop the knee down and come into hands and knees, or if you can, just swing that leg all the way back. And let's find our plank again into chaturanga. Inhale and exhale. And then tuck the toes under and come up to our down dog and just pad out the feet. Lots of dog, lots of padding today. And then as we exhale, we're just going to see, let's see if we can do a little hop today, just for fun. So look to the hands, come up onto the toes, bend the knees and just spring forward and then pop our bottom down on the ground. Let's take the soles of our feet together. So really handy here is to have a prop to hand, just to have a cushion to hand. It makes it so much easier. Just take the soles of the feet together. And we're just going to take the elbows, use the elbows to push the knees apart, just as you sit here. And the weight of the body, as we did at the beginning when we were cross-legged, the weight of the body moving forward just gives us this nice hip stretch on both sides. This is called Konasana. Nice and simple. And no matter where we are, hopefully we can take a nice big breath, inhale, and then exhale. Pushing the weight forward. And then bringing the knees all the way back up again. Just stretch the feet out in front of you, and we'll just go into a nice hamstring stretch. So as we exhale, just forward folding over the legs. And don't worry if this just feels like a little bit. We're going to take a big breath, think about filling the back of the lungs, and then exhale, forward fold. If we can, reach for our toes, go for it. If we're holding our toes, just bend the elbows, and then we can draw the body down. And then as we inhale, come all the way back up. Good. Let's come off our cushion. I'm going to grab my handy strap, which you might have to have. Don't worry if you don't have one. I'm just going to take you into a few hip stretches. So just bring that knee into your chest. So I'm going to give you a couple of options. Take this out of the way. So we can either work just holding the knee, or if we want, we can straighten up the leg and just hold the leg somewhere so it's nice and straight. Both my feet are flexed. Or if we've got our strap handy, we can use the strap to give us slightly longer arms. Don't worry if you've not got one, or maybe you've gone to get your dressing gown cord. And if you're really flexible, if you want, you can take your foot in that yogi toe hold and just straighten up from here. So there's loads and loads of options, but the point is we're working in the hip. So as we exhale, let's just see if we can either draw the knee in or just straighten up that leg. Your choice. Let's get this out of the way. And then as we exhale, next time, we're going to just open that leg out. This is where you might lose me. I'll try and sort of look around the camera. So if our foot is in, if our knee is in, we're just opening the hip from here. We take our left hand and we hold our left hip, just so that we don't rock over. We want both butt cheeks to stay on the floor. Or we're just holding the leg somewhere and just allowing it to open. So you might be super flexible and your leg is over here somewhere. I'm just not doing that because I wouldn't be seen by the camera. And then as we exhale, draw that leg up. And this is my favourite one. So either our leg is bent or it's straight, we're holding on somewhere. We take our thumb, our right thumb, and we push just into the hip crease where the torso meets the leg. And then just draw the leg over to the left-hand side of the room. And you'll feel this really fantastic / pretty grim stretch all the way through your hamstring, your outside hamstring. So just enjoy that. And don't worry if you're holding the knee. If this is all a bit complicated and you're holding the knee, you can still get that stretch if you push the hip away. It's like you're pushing the hip down to the end of your mat. And then as we exhale, just release that leg. Good. Just give it a little shake and we'll do the other side. So the great thing about doing stretches for the hips is it really releases tension in the body, any tension that we might feel. So let's start by bringing in the knee. Maybe we're working in this way today, maybe our leg is here, that's all fine. We might want to try and stretch through the leg. We might be super flexible and be holding. We might have a strap around the leg, but maybe we're just holding the back of the thigh. And maybe, obviously, if we're down here, that's fine. With each exhale, we're just going to bend the elbows and straighten out the hamstring. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we're going to open that leg out to the side. So maybe we're just taking the leg, we're taking our right hand, holding the right hip, and just letting the left leg just fall out to the side a little bit. So maybe again, maybe we're a bit higher up, maybe we're quite low down, maybe we've thought, bother that straight leg thing, and we're just holding on to our knee. I don't mind, it's the hip that we're working on. Take a nice big breath, and then as we exhale, just draw that knee back in. And then my favourite one, let's take our left thumb and just shove it into that little crease in between the thigh and the torso. And then as we exhale, we're just drawing our knee over to the right-hand side of our mat. And we're just getting the benefit of this really unusual and nice hamstring stretch. So if you're able to work with a straight leg, this feels particularly nice / painful. And just give it a couple of breaths here. You'll note my feet are still flexed, so So I'm still trying to get the maximum stretch out of my legs, out of the hamstrings by flexing the feet. And then bring your leg back up to the midpoint. Have both soles of the feet to the floor now. And as we did at the beginning, we're just going to take the knees over to the right hand side. So just let them fall over, take your head over to the left, and just allow that relaxation in the hip now. Note how that feels. And then as we inhale, draw the knees up, and then over to the other side. And take a breath. And then bring the knees up to the midpoint. And then remember the stretch we did first of all, the figure four. So just take the right ankle, pop it onto the left thigh, and take our right hand and just push that away, and just see how that feels in the hip. And if we can lift the foot from the floor, left foot from the floor, and just find our hamstring stretch again. So with each exhale, we're bending our elbows and drawing our leg in. So we've got this nice figure four stretch going on. Keep going. We might not be at that level. We might just be pushing that thigh away. Take a nice big breath. Exhale and push. And then see if this one's available to you. Take your hands along the mat, and then as if the sole of your right foot is really heavy, we're just going to drop our foot over onto the left hand side. So we're bringing in this hip opener plus a twist. So it may be that's not available, in which case that's fine. Just go back into the supine twist we did before and neutralize the spine. But otherwise, keep that knee working towards the end of your mat, and just take a breath here. And then as we inhale, navel comes to spine, and see if we can bring the whole kick noodle up. If not, just unravel, and then we'll do the other side. So, left foot onto the right thigh, flex that left foot, and then push the thigh away. So we're localizing the stretch in the hip, taking a nice big breath. If we want to take it up a gear and lift our foot from the floor. So my left hand is going in between that gap in between the left foot and the right thigh. And then I can draw my whole legs in from the waist as I bend my elbows, just increasing that hip stretch. Figure four. And you may well have done this in the gym many times. Just make sure we're breathing properly, working on the breath. And as we release, let's see if we can do the twisty one, the supine twist the other way. So as if the left foot's really heavy, that's going to meet the mat. Then I take my head over my left shoulder. And just take a breath. So this is a really nice stretch for the lower back as well as the hip. But if it's too intense, frankly, don't do it. Just find our way back to knees together. And then as we inhale, bring the whole body upright again. And just unravel. We're just going to hug both knees into our chest. See if you can make a tight little ball. And if not, a nice relaxed ball. Just to release the lower back. And we might want to even just do some little circles with the knees. Just to give yourself a little spinal massage. Massage the muscles of the back. And then we're going to find our way to Savasana. So lay the right leg on the ground, lay the left leg on the ground, and then lay the backs of the hands on the ground. So we're just laying flat. And just claiming this time. See if you can stay lying down. Grab that extra couple of minutes and just ask for biofeedback. How does that feel? Allow the body just to be completely rested, supported by the ground underneath you. So bring your attention to which parts of the body you can feel on the mat. The back of the head maybe, the backs of the shoulders. which part of the neck and the spine is on the floor? It might not be all of it, for some of us it may be. But just see if you can get a sense of the way the body lies out. Just feel the pelvis on the floor. And then again, which parts of the legs are on the floor? Are there any pockets of air? Maybe at the knees, as you work your way down to the heels. And try and get a sense of heaviness as you breathe out, just feeling the density of the skeleton. And then feeling energized, so feel the lightness around you in the next breath. Just can't try and keep that nice feeling of lightness, of energy. As we take 3 cleansing breaths, so we're just going to take a nice big inhale through the nose, and then sigh out 2 more times. And then wiggle the fingers and toes, and just stretch as you need to stretch. What do you need to do today just to waken yourself up before rolling over onto your right hand side, just pushing up into a seat, and maybe attempting cross-legged, maybe sitting cross-legged, and just seeing how easy it is, or otherwise, to sit like this, nice straight spine. And however you're feeling, you've done really well to make it through 30 minutes on a Sunday morning, and thank you very much for joining us. Namaste. Thank you.